Sabaha everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I have the honor to be able to share with you guys the unboxing and initial impressions of the LG V20. This is the retail package for T-Mobile. I pre-ordered it on Monday, and of course in T-Mobile fashion they ship things ahead of time before the actual release date. So this is the LG V20 retail packaging T-Mobile variant. Let's go ahead and check it out and do an unboxing and initial impressions. The box is very nice, just says V20 on the side. We have T-Mobile logo on this side. We have the V20 logo, Snapdragon logo here, obviously since this is Snapdragon running device. The LG V20 SIM card, lithium-ion battery and charger will be included, so we have the battery is separate. USB cable, smart guide, terms and condition. We have T-Mobile branding and 4G LTE, HD voice support, as well as LG Gate. Once we remove the outer shell, we'll notice that the box has an inscription on it. It says "Life's good when you play more." This is one of the other indicators that this is a retail packaging, no longer being the preview hardware that was sent to a lot of YouTube tech reviewers. Let's go ahead and open it up. It is sealed here, so we have to open up this package. Ah, yes. Brand new box. Opening it up, we have three different boxes. We have the quick charger here. This is a US style, obviously. This is a T-Mobile variant. We have USB Type A to USB Type C cable that we will use to charge our device. Next, I'm going to go ahead and, well, actually, let's go ahead and wait for this. Let me open up this pack. This is the battery. It's a 3200 milliamp back battery. So what we're going to be able to do is be able to change this, or even buy a couple and keep one charged and keep one ready to be able to use whenever we want it. It's replaceable. It's very nice and extremely thin. Hope you guys could see this. And I'll put this on the side again. So let's go ahead and open up the flap here. So here is the device. It does have some plastic covering on it. We can see here on the bottom we have the LG V20. Let's go ahead and do a quick tour of the device. On the right side, all we have is the button that we'll use to eject the back cover, and we'll do that in a second. We don't have a power button on the back anymore. Going a little bit back here, we have the fingerprint sensor that doubles as a power button, so we'll use this to be able to power up the device as well as use it as a fingerprint sensor. We have the laser autofocus, face detection, dual tone LED flash, 60 megapixel camera with an aperture of f1.8, and 8 megapixel camera with an aperture of 2.4, giving us the ability to jump between a wide angle view as well as a standard view camera lens, which is very, very nice, and I like that a lot on the G5. And the cameras are supposed to be very, very nice and very crisp, so we'll definitely check those out. And then we just have a massive plastic, and it is very hard, so let's do that. And here we are. Very nice, feels very good in the hand. And then going to the left side, we have the volume rockers, just up and down. Again, the power button is present on the back now. We no longer have another button dedicated for that. Going to the bottom, we have a slightly tampered edge, a chin kind of that slants down, similar to the G5. We have the headphone jack, a very nice headphone jack here. One of the microphones, a USB Type-C connector, and with the bottom firing speaker for your audio playback. As far as the top, we have an IR blaster as well as another microphone. Now we do have a screen protector, and I can see that very clearly on my screen, and hopefully you guys could see that right there. You can see the indentation. I'm going to keep it for now until I'm able to pick up a nice glass protector, but other than that, you can definitely remove it if you don't want it. It is covering the entire display all the way down to the edges, and it's installed perfectly. So let's go ahead and open up the back and install the battery. So let me just go ahead and real quick walk you through this. Now in the back, we do have access to the fingerprint sensor, of course. We have the SIM tray and the micro SD card tray, and this is where we'll be able to put in our SIM card. Install the SIM card, put in the battery, very nice. Put the backing on it right away. Snap, 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 and we are back in. Very, very good. And then press and hold to turn on the device. You have very nice vibration, and then we'll go ahead and give the device a second to boot up. As it's booting up, I want to do a quick comparison for you guys as far as size. This is the iPhone 6s Plus, Quad HD, 1080p. We have definitely very different technology as far as the specs. But let's look at the thickness of the devices if we're looking at them. I'm almost tempted to say they're about the same thickness, although the V20 is slightly taller if I'm comparing them correctly. But other than that, very good as far as if you're coming from an iPhone, especially even with the iPhone 7 Plus this year, it's pretty much the same physical size as the parameters. It may not be the exact same in the back, but for the most part, it's the same physical size. As we're still booting up on this side, we have a 5.7 inch display, 5.5 inch display on the S7 Edge. On the V20 is 5.7. They're both Quad HDs. Different technology, IPS versus AMOLED, so that's always going to be kind of like depending on which one you prefer. But the reason I wanted to mention to you guys here is if you notice from the form factor as far as height, it's a little bit taller. Obviously, we do have the additional small display that the Samsung doesn't have. But as far as actual thickness, you can see that Samsung has been able to actually do a really good job of squeezing in 5.5 inches. Even when it went to the Note size, into a factor that almost looks so much smaller than a standard flat implementation of the screen. Again, I'm not trying to knock the V20, I'm just saying it's from the implementation and design, they definitely did do the homework there. And of course, as far as thickness, it's hard to tell, but I think they're pretty much the same when it comes to the center thickness, but at the edge, of course, the S7 edge does actually curve, which gives it that allure of basically, you know, infinite display on the sides. Here it is, Explore. I already installed my SIM card, as you guys could see here. It does give us the 4G LTE tick here, which is pretty much what we are connected. The battery does not come in at 100%. Mobile data is turned on. I don't need to worry about Wi-Fi. I'm going to go proceed. Sending up, the model number is the LG H918. Again, 5.7 Quad HD display here. We have 4 gigs of RAM built into this device, 64 gigs of internal storage. We have dual cameras in the back and dual cameras in the front as far as the setup, the ability to go wide angle, standard angle ends with the front one. And in the back one, we have two separate cameras that give us the same effect. I went ahead and added my credentials. We're just going for a second here, checking in real quick. I'm going to say set up fingerprint sensor, say yes. I went ahead and selected my pin. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the device and go ahead and set up the fingerprint reading. One of the things you need to be aware of when you do pick up the V20 is that there is actually plastic covering on the fingerprint sensor. You may not notice it when you're doing it, but it's a very small piece and you need to remove it before you can set up your fingerprint sensor. I'm going to say okay here, and I'm going to start. It's asking us to do the different angles on the finger. So enabled, device booted up, the location services picked up where I am, gave me the time and date and weather, and we'll be able to add that later on. Google Play applications, okay, we'll say next, just giving us the access here. This is the folder. We'll notice this is all the Google Play applications installed. We have all the different things here. We notice again that we're missing the app drawer here. This is just an implementation out of the box. You can change this. Go to settings, you go to display, you go to under display, go to home screen. You'll notice there's easy home for simple use, and then there's home with app drawer. This is the one that you'd want to use. Keeps the same aspect ratio, the 5x5 grid. And then again, you can still have the home button access here, and then it looks much nicer. I touched the top of the screen, and by default it automatically started helping me with it. It says experience the second screen. We can scroll to the right. When the main screen is off, you still have some information you can add there, like the time and the date. You can also do signature, recent app shortcuts, upcoming plans, music player, and quick contacts as far as the different things you can install or have available there. And of course, add more shortcuts from different applications, so definitely very nice. Jumping into the software section, we have Android 7.0 built into this device. September 1st is the security patch, which is pretty much the latest we have. Build number is NRD90M. Software is H91810D. This is the T-Mobile variant. And then, of course, security patch installed. Let's go ahead and do a NuGet. And then the kitty cat comes up here, and then I will have that other option. Bringing down the notification shade from the top, we'll notice that we have set up from an old device. Lookout is trying to do something for us. And of course, we have the extended shade here that we'll be able to interface with. We can edit this. Swipe to the right, we have additional ones. This is not typical with standard ones where you usually have just one layer. And of course, we can edit here, and then we have the kitty one, the Easter egg that was added. And I'll go ahead and just bring that in on the right side, and it's closed. So I can bring it up here, and then I can see it when I need it. The other thing, of course, we have file sharing, screen sharing, and we have the ability of going into our settings. Settings are pretty much organized the same way we had it before. And we'll go back. We have network, which gives us access to all of our Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, mobile data, connectivity for share, tethering, and more when you want to go into VPN, mobile network, and Wi-Fi calling. This does support Wi-Fi calling on T-Mobile, and it is turned on. Sound profile, volume, T-Mobile jingle is the sound option that I have right now. Vibration strength, sound and vibration. Of course, all of these different options here. The Hi-Fi DAC is not turned on right now because I don't have headphones built into it, but it does have a toggle, if I'm not mistaken, at the top that gives us the ability of turning it on. Here it is, the Hi-Fi Quad DAC on the V10. The V10 and the V20 have both very nice DACs that will be able to drive a lot of the high impedance headphones that you guys can actually get on the market now. Even your normal headphones will sound so much better. I'm hoping to see how good this thing is. Display, second display configuration, the default home here, home screen. We can go in, wallpaper, sort, app, the grid size, we can change it from 4x5, which is what the default is. I'm going to go to 5x5. I'll give it a second to load. Hiding application and smart bulletin. And then this includes additional home screen showing customized information. We'll do that later. Then we have themes. We have home touch buttons. Those are the buttons at the bottom. We have them right now in white. I'm going to go with black. You notice it changes the color, and then we can go button combination, which means you can change different things. One of the ones I always like to do, especially with devices that are this big, is to bring in, we'll go ahead, we'll bring in on this end, to bring down the notification toggle, which gives us the ability of opening up the notification shade with one button without having to swipe. When you get big devices like these, 5.7 inches, these things become very functional. And then hide home touch buttons, we can do that if we want. And we'll go ahead and say OK. And then these are the ones during the applications where you ask for it to hide. Otherwise, they usually stay on screen as we don't have capacitive buttons on the bottom. Font size, brightness, auto brighten, screen timeout, 30 seconds, more. This is where you can configure knock-on, screensaver, and then mini view, which it means swipe home button to the left, right to bring in smaller things. So home. So this is mini view, again, helps a lot, and then you can swipe to the right with the home button, brings it back. It's not bad. I like the implementation. Let's go back in here. And last but not least, we under general, we have memory. We'll go in, we'll go back here, we'll go into memory. We have 1.6 gigs right now of used. This is average memory used, and then we have 2.1 gigs free, which is not bad considering that this is how much we have right now on the system. Let's go into apps. Actually, let's go into storage. That's what I wanted to check. So we do have a 64 gig variant of this device. 13.68 is used out of the box. I haven't installed anything. I haven't changed anything on this device. So we have roughly about 50 gigs of available space available for us to use. And again, we can expand that with the SD card. No additional files, nothing in here. And then we do have the built-in file explorer that we normally have within Android. So if you want to go into the built-in file explorer, this is where you'll be able to get in. It's under storage, and then you can go in and check the different folders and access them. I'm going to say later, I don't want to turn on location services. But you could see here with the lens, well, let's go ahead and bring this into frame. This is the standard view, and if I want to go wide angle view, you can see pretty much the rest of my table on this. And then this is one of the main benefits, of course. We do have modes, and that we'll be able to select. We have pop-out, multi-view, snap, and then the multi-view is really nice. I saw that on the LG G5, is the ability to have multiple view angles. And you can see here, I'm in the frame. At the same time, we have two different angles here for the camera, and that's very, very cool. And then we can, of course, go up to pop-up. And pop-up just does that effect where it does kind of like the background, makes it almost like using the zoomed in view in the middle and the wide angle on the outside. Very, very good. Again, great for visual effects for content creators if you guys are looking to generate, new type of content. Of course, we have different setups here. 16:9 by default is set to 12 megapixel. If we want to go to 16 megapixel, unfortunately it's cropped at 4.3, but again, pretty good. What we have here, 16:9 is 6 megapixels, and we can go further down. Let's go here real quick. I wanted to see the camera roll. These are the different filters, switching. Of course, we can swap between the two by just doing it this way. And let's go ahead and zoom out to the top one. And you can also switch between the two different lenses by just clicking these little two icons right here. I want to go ahead and do a real quick sound test for you guys here. I have NCS here. This is no copyright music. We'll go ahead and play one song real quick for you guys. This is it. I'm really excited about looking at this device because of two things. This is definitely the evolution that I was expecting the G5 to have as far as the quality. This has the quad DAC built into it. You don't have to buy an extra module to get it. We didn't get modularity on the V20 because the reality is the V10 wasn't modular, and I don't think they look at this as a modular regular consumer user. This is for pro content creators. If you're going to look at creating content, generating video, the ability to control where the gain of the audio is coming from, either be it front facing or back facing, the ability to change it between two different cameras is a nice addition. They did learn that from the G5. We have 64 gigs of built-in storage right out of the box, so there's no 32 gig worry here. And you can still expand it, so you have an SD card option. Now, this is not water resistant. This does not have any of the type of water resistant ratings that we've seen the Samsung devices or even the iPhone 7 has. So this is one thing that kind of you have to keep in mind. When you do have removable backing, you lose a lot of that functionality. I mean, the only other way for them to do this would have been to have a kind of a gasket around the side, and then you have to screw these in to make sure that this becomes, or retains its water resistance as you're working with it. But definitely excited to use this. You can definitely get a waterproof case and fix that problem. Having that second display on the top is very nice. Having the fingerprint sensor as my power button, a little bit of an issue. The reason I say that is you can't just unlock the screen to get to the notification panel anymore. So let's say if I want to open the phone but I don't want to actually unlock the phone, I have to literally remember that I need to press it with my other finger. So other than that, it unlocks very quick, and that's really one of the main benefits. It's so fast. It almost kind of hinders a feature that some people like to use on their device. Locking the device and then just trying to do, so look at it, I have to actually do it and then it vibrates. So if I press the button, now I have my lock screen and I can actually interact with my notifications. Some of the main things that we get with Nougat is the ability to get these condensed aggregated notifications. And if you don't have access to the lock screen because your finger is the unlock button, you end up basically unlocking your device every time. So definitely a little bit of getting used to. Excited to have it. Very, very nice. Again, thanks to T-Mobile for sending them out so early. This is my own unit. I did pre-order this on T-Mobile as I am a customer. So I received it and I wanted to share with you guys my initial impressions. Very good, very, very excited to check it out, and this is going to be my daily driver on my main devices. Stay tuned within the next couple of days. I think I'm expecting my my Pixel XL to actually be delivered, and it's going to be my secondary device. As you guys know, I usually carry 2 devices with me most of the time. So this is TK. Thank you very much for checking out the channel, the impressions, and the unboxing of this device. Like and subscribe as usual. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one.